Hi. Hi. Thanks for joining me. My name's Bruce. This is my classroom in the forest, which I've explained before. That's a bit of a stretch to say it's a classroom, but it is in the forest, insects and all. And my name is Bruce, and thank you. And okay, the plan. We discuss three things. One, we do a thing, an object. We're going to talk briefly about a person, and we're going to talk about an idea. And the ideas, they come from economics, and it's the part of this idea of good enough, right? In the same way that you don't have to be a PhD in mathematics to purchase your groceries, similarly we're going to focus on those aspects of economics that affect our ordinary lives, which everything does really, and allow us to have comfort and be more confident in some of the decisions that we make and the decisions that other people make that affect us, and be able to evaluate the good decisions and the bad decisions. Okay, anyway, moving along. The first thing I'd like to do is talk about this. This is an Ego battery, and this battery powers a range of home yard and garden tools. For example, this battery has allowed me to get rid of my very loud and very smelly gas lawnmower. I've gotten rid of my louder and more smelly gas snowblower. I've gotten rid of replaced my leaf blower. I've replaced my lawn trimmer, everything. And it's powered by this battery. I get nothing from Ego, by the way, but I'm really happy with this, because this same battery powers a whole suite of tools. It's remarkably economical, and the lawn is substantial, and I'm able to comfortably cut the lawn using this battery. Okay, talk about a person. I've been talking about private figures, public figures a little bit, but this is a figure that you probably heard of, and it's Keith Moon. Keith Moon, the original drummer for The Who. And why am I talking about him? Because he's awesome. And when you're finished watching this video, please have a listen to The Who song Eminence Front. And it is a power piece. I love it. Love it. It's great. Great song. Keith Moon, he's not afraid to keep a steady beat and bash hard. It's exciting music, and really music should be exciting. Well, some music should be exciting, but music is about emotion, and excitement is certainly one of the emotions that come with the music of The Who. I'm going to mention that there's work taking place elsewhere in the forest, and so there's some machinery that's pretty loud. I attempted this video earlier, and the machinery came, or the sound, you could hear it, and I think it showed up on the video a bit, and I'm afraid that might happen again. Anyway, okay, now the idea is related to all these ideas are interrelated, but if you recall, we talked about this idea of more, the ever-expanding human suite of wants and needs. We talked about the entities that exist in our society. There's the individual, there's the firm, and there's government. We talked about the production possibility curve, which you said is kind of like when you look in your fridge and you say, well, what can I make with the stuff that I have? Okay. Oh, on that stuff that I have thing, there's another person I might talk about a bit later in some more detail, Zita Cobb, and she's the driving force, or one of, behind the Fogo Island Inn. If you've ever been to Newfoundland and you're lucky enough to go to Fogo Island, there's a place, the Fogo Island Inn. That's a product of Zita Cobb, and the reason I mention this is because when she was having the meetings with the townspeople about how can we best do what we want to do, or what should we do, she said the first thing we consider is, okay, now what do we have and what do we know? What do we have and what do we know? Okay, So this is related to the production possibility curve, is what exists and what can you do with it, right? Okay, and in that, now moving on to the idea of today, actually is this idea in economics is called marginal utility. Marginal utility, or the last bit of happiness. Okay, the happiness that you get from the last at the edge. You have $5,000 in your pocket. You spent $4,999 of it, and you have $1 left. And how can we get happiness from that last dollar? Or maybe in my case, an example I keep coming back to is, well, heck, it's ice cream. So I start off with my ice cream. I'm having my dish, having my container, whatever it may be, and I have a lot of happiness for those first bunch of scoops. And I still have quite a bit of happiness left for the middle portion of scoops, and I'm still pretty happy at the end, but I'm not as happy at the end as I am at the beginning. Well, I'm still happy, but I'm just, not as full of vigor and gusto on the ice cream as I had been. Okay, so it's the idea, marginal utility or marginal happiness, and it goes down. It diminishes. So I was talking a little bit ago about the lawn. You're gonna cut a lawn. You use a lawnmower. Okay, so let's pretend you have this giant lawn and you're like, oh, I have to cut the lawn. So okay, so you go to the store and you come home with a lawnmower. All right, so you cut the lawn and you're feeling pretty good. You're really, for whatever reason, you really like that lawnmower. And you happen to be at the same store again, so you buy another lawnmower. Okay, now what do? You can only use one lawnmower at a time, so the marginal utility of the second lawnmower is practically zero. You're not getting any extra happiness out of it other than you have this thing you can look at. There you go. Same idea with pants. Okay, so I don't have any pants. I buy pants, and so now I have pants. I'm warm and I have pants. I can go out in public. Everything's great. Okay, now my pants get dirty, so I buy a second pair of pants, and now I have a second pair that I can wash while my first pair. Sorry, you follow me? I got something I can change into while I'm doing the wash. All right, then I buy the third pair of pants, and well, that's not quite as useful as the second pair of pants, and it's certainly not as useful as the first pair of pants. Oh, now one day I notice that I have 49 pairs of pants in my closet. They all fall on the floor every time I open the door, but still, for some reason, I buy another pair of pants. And the usefulness of that 50th pair of pants is, well, it's practically zero. Now, the fashion community may disagree, and that's okay, but for the point I'm trying to make, the marginal utility of that last pair of pants is essentially, it's gone. Okay, marginal. This idea of the economists use the word at the margin, marginal, or the good that's derived from the last thing, the benefit that you get from the last action. Okay, now this is related to the production possibility curve, and it's related to the three entities that exist in society: people, firms, and government. And if you bear in mind your quest for happiness, and what you want to do is maximize your joy, maximize your fun. You want to have the most possible fun, and you're looking after your resources and your finance. Well, you might want to keep this idea of marginal utility in mind. Like me, I really like riding my bike. I said it before. There's a joke in the bike community, N+1. Well, how many bikes should you own? Well, however many you have, you should always buy another one. Well, that's craziness. You can only ride one at a time. And when people ask me about bikes, what kind of bikes you get, I say, you know what? When you are riding your bike, the last thing that is going through your mind really is your bike. You're just happy. You're enjoying yourself. You're trying to avoid falling or crashing or whatever, and it's fun and it's exciting and it's thrilling. And as long as you're actually riding the bike, you're not thinking about the bike, and you're not thinking about, geez, I should get another bike. That's craziness. Okay. Marginal utility, and it relates to the production possibility curve. Yes, it does. And there's another idea that we're going to touch on, and move towards this notion of a thing called public policy. Public policy is the policy and the legislation and the regulation and the everything that is set forth, people that have influence over the domain of the public. Okay? Like, for example, you could be the king of some imaginary island, and well, you set policy that's going to affect the people that live there. Or you're the government of Canada, or you're the government of the United States, or you are government of a country that straddles Europe and Asia. And the things that you do that affect people as public policy. And public policy is tied together with this idea of the production possibility curve. It's tied together with marginal utility. It's tied together with a lot of stuff. And that's it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is leave. I'm going to say thank you very much for visiting today. And if you like what's going on, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like what's going on, leave a comment. That'd be great. If you think I'm wrong, leave a comment. Explain why. That would be good. Explain why. But remember that these ideas I'm talking about, they're not mine. They're those ideas, these things, they have been tested throughout the history. And smarter people than me have thought it up and examined it and performed experiments, and it's just kind of worked out. But anyway, my name's Bruce. This is my classroom in the forest. Thank you once again, and I'm going to depart back into the woods. Have a nice day.